Yeah, here's the deal, right? What is it like being 30?
Terrible. It's terrible.
Oh, come on. I don't think it's that bad.
See, when you're in your 20s, you're young and stupid, and everyone's okay with that. But then suddenly you become 30 and people start expecting things of you.
Okay, maybe I wasn't the best person to pose this question to. I had a lot of responsibility put on me in my teens and my 20s, and I get that that's not like super typical, but as a result, I tried really hard to get rid of responsibilities, and I feel like once you get to your 30s, you get to be more confident in yourself and who you are as a person. And when people have an expectation of me and how I live my life that they don't have the right to have, I just have an expectation that they should fuck all the way off. And in my 20s, I used to lose sleep over disappointing people or not meeting their expectations. In my 30s, I just don't fucking care.
And people will say things like, but you're more established in your career. What career? Those became extinct in 2008. No, I have a job that pays my rent because I also don't have a house.
Okay, that's a fair point, I'd say, for a good portion of people. Again, I might not be the best person for this because I tried the career thing for a few years and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna be a thing for me. And I'm gonna do my own thing, and fortunately my own thing worked out. And I'm very fortunate enough to be able to have a house. But when I graduated college in my early 20s in 2013, which was still very much post-recession America, I had this expectation. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna apply for a bunch of places with my new shiny college degree, and I'm gonna have a bunch of good paying jobs to pick from. That was not a thing. They're like, yeah, we're gonna make you go through months of interview processes and then just never call you back, or offer you $30,000 a year for a salaried position you gotta work 80 hours a week at. That expectation versus reality thing getting out of college in your early 20s, that was a painful realization in life for me anyway. And then you try to find that career mobility that doesn't exist anymore as you're barely trying to scrape by, and you feel like it's just you, that nobody else is experiencing this bullshit, and there's something wrong with you. So the difference is that even though it still sucks for a lot of people in their 30s, by now, we all fucking know that it's not just us. So we still know we're getting fucked, but we know we're getting fucked together, and who doesn't like an orgy? All I'm saying is there's a little bit of solace in being able to take the weight off of your shoulders of realizing that it's not me who's a failure, it's society. Unfortunately, that still doesn't buy groceries. And I get that, so that does suck, but it sucks in your 20s too, so, you know.
So I live in a shoebox apartment driving the beat-up old Honda that I got the year I graduated college, which to my chagrin was apparently a decade ago.
Now, I like driving the old shit, so that doesn't bother me so much. But that is something that starts to happen in your 30s, is you start realizing how old you are for the first time. Like, you don't get that in your 20s really ever. Like, old age seems much further away and your youth seems much closer. In your 20s, you see college students and you're like, oh yeah, I was just in college not that long ago. And then in your 30s, you see college students and you think to yourself, oh yeah, I'm just like them. I was in college not that long ago. And then you talk to college students and they start saying shit like lit and no cap. And you're like, right, that was a decade ago. I am like 12, 13 years older than these children. And then you start thinking about like health things you should be worrying about. Like, you know, maybe my drinking is a little bit of a problem. You just start becoming aware of your age, you know? You don't feel old yet, but you're definitely not feeling young anymore either. So it's a new anxiety to replace some of the ones you had in your 20s that you've gotten rid of in your 30s. Life's all about keeping it fresh.
And all the while, this is made worse by older generations saying things like, you're in the prime of your life. Oh my God, my 30s were my favorite. Good for you, boomer. Good for you, but from where I'm sitting, I have nothing that makes me feel like an adult apart from these fine lines and faulty joints. No, that's not true. I have a Dyson vacuum cleaner, and I love her like the child I will never have. So anyway, all of this is to say that apparently being 30 is like being an overgrown, creaky child with a lot of questions and an expensive home appliance.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. I definitely did not see the being excited about appliances thing coming until it happened, and that was a weird moment in life. And I definitely don't feel like the mature adult who has all the answers in life that I thought I would at this point when I was a kid, when I perceived all the other adults in my life as being mature adults who had everything figured out. But I have realized as I've gotten older that all of those mature adults that I thought had everything figured out when I was a kid had no fucking clue what was going on then, and they still don't now. It's like, now that I'm an adult, I know that my parents, my grandparents, and teachers, and everybody, they were a mess the whole fucking time. So that makes you feel a little better about your perceived failings at human existence, because, you know, they all sucked too. And while it doesn't make your life suck less, it makes you feel like you suck less as a person. And that's what it's all about, you know, realizing that we don't suck as an individual, we all suck together. I mean, some of you still suck as individuals, don't get me wrong. But when you're in your 20s, at least for me, you really feel like you aren't accomplishing anything because there's something wrong with you. But in your 30s, at least for me, you come to the realization that we're all just playing the shitty hand we were dealt. And that hopefully helps you sleep a little bit better in your shitty overpriced apartment in your 30s than it did in your 20s.